Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear future leaders from all around the country. Our great country, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, welcome to your English class. Also, I would like to welcome Mr. Fawaz Al-Aqil. He's going to be our sign language interpreter. And now I think we're so ready to start our new lesson. It's first intermediate grade, first semester. The subject is English. Our lesson of today is going to be enrichment, unit 1 and 2. This is my name is Khulud Saoud. As always, it's a pleasure to be your teacher. Let's start with our online classroom rules. Find a quiet study area. Be ready. Make sure you have everything you need around. Number 2, avoid distractions like TV, food, and other online resources. Number 3, keep strong and positive. Are you ready? Let's start. So in today's lesson, we're about to have a revision for Unit 1 and Unit 2. Remember, at the very beginning of our book, Unit 1 covers many topics such as greeting people. This is the first basic skill if you want to talk to someone else using your second language. And as you know, English is an international language. So you can use greetings at any situation. Probably you're meeting people from all around the world, maybe a new class, a new school, or maybe at the airport. In many situations, the first thing you're about to do is greeting people. Hello, everyone. So that's kind of greeting. Also saying goodbye in order to end a conversation. Also, introducing yourself and others. This is a very important skill in speaking. After you start with your greeting, you're about to introduce yourself, and maybe if you have company, you're going to introduce someone else, right? Like your friends, your classmates. Also, we learned how to talk about school supplies. This is very basic information whenever we are joining a classroom, right? Also, in Unit 2, we cover many topics such as use days of the week and months. Remember, we talked about the months of the year, days of the week. Also, we use the numbers from 1 to 1,000. In context, use ordinal numbers. Talk about your age. How old are you? And we learned how to ask about that. Follow and give classroom instructions. I just said that whenever I have our classroom online rules. Okay, so please open your book and pay attention. I just gave you instructions. Okay, let's start. So in our first lesson in Unit 1, Good Morning, page 8, we started and listen and discuss with greetings based on the time of the day. So if you're about to greet people, you can't say good morning at night time or good night at evening time, right? You need to greet people according to what time you're meeting them or talking to them. As you can see right here, hi mom, good morning. It's 7 a.m. A.m. is early morning. Around this time you will be at school, right? Hi mom, good morning. Hi dad, good morning. How about number 2, 1 p.m.? What's the appropriate greeting at that time? Hello, George. Good afternoon, Mr. Porter. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. Good afternoon. Also, look at number 3. It's 7 p.m. Good evening, Mr. Lang. Good evening. Did you notice the difference between different kind of greetings based on the time of the day? Also, we were introduced to a conversation between Danny and Alex. Danny used a greeting, hi, Alex. Hello, Alex. Alex is busy using his phone, so he didn't pay attention. He said, hello. Then Alex finally said, I'm sorry. Hi, Danny. How is it going? Danny replied, not bad. Did you notice something here? Both of them started with greeting, such as hi or hello to start the conversation. How is it going is a way to ask how are you in a different way, okay? Let's go to the next page. Also, we learned the difference between AM and PM. AM always before midday and PM past midday, as you can see at the clock right here. The hand clock is pointing at 12, so probably after that time, when the sun in the sky, what do you say? Good evening or good afternoon? Good job, good afternoon. Also, we learned the timeline of midnight, noon, midnight, and we said at this time you would be sleeping. 7 a.m. you will be at the school. During this time you will be doing praying, Salat al-Dhuhr, and then around this time you will be at home doing your homework until it's midnight. You will be probably at your bed sleeping, right? So we learned the difference between AM and PM. Also on Unit 1, Good Morning, we learned introductions. Have a look. Let's refresh our memory. Letter A. Asma, this is my friend Hanan. Hanan, this is Asma. Can you tell what's going here? What's going on here? Two people are introducing themselves to each other. Remember, we learned how to greet people and also how to introduce each others. Nice to meet you, Asma. Nice to meet you too. This is a nice reply whenever you are meeting a person for the first time in your life. In order to be polite, you will be saying nice to meet you, and they would reply with nice to meet you too. Look at letter B. Hi, my name is Tom. Tom is introducing himself. So this is a nice way when you're entering, let's say, a classroom, or maybe you're attending a summer camp for the first time. You will be introducing yourself to your teacher and your classmates. So let's say you're doing this in international, maybe community. So what's the appropriate way to introduce yourself? You will start with greetings based on the time of the day. If it's morning, you will start, hi, good morning everyone. My name is, and then you say your name. Hello, Tom. I am Michael, but my friends call me Mike. He was adding his nickname as a nice way to get to know each others. So now we know how to greet each others based on the time of the day, how to introduce ourselves and others. Let's go to the next part. Also, we learned how to call people with their appropriate title, right? In order to be polite. Let's say you are writing an email to your teacher. Let's say if you're writing an email, if you're a boy and writing to your teacher, you would be using Mr. for your teacher. And if you're a girl, you would be writing either, so Mr. for married and single, Mrs. for only married lady, Miss is for single lady, and Miss either married or single if you're not sure. Remember, it's polite always to have a title for their names. Use titles with the last names or with first name and last name. As you can see, Miss Al-Katani, this is my name, Mrs. Miss Khulud Al-Katani. In greetings, use titles with last names only. You say, hello, Miss Al-Katani, for example. Also, we learned the basic English verb be. In singular, as you can see, I, the subject pronoun, plus am, and this is the short form of the verb am. I am John. You are John. This is a contraction. And the verb be, you are Sue. He is Bill. She is Mary. This is the full form of it. I am, you are, he is, she is. And the verb be for plural is, as you can see, we're, you're, there. Can you tell? What is it? Good job. This is the full form of it. We are friends. You are friends. They are friends. And we use the apostrophe in order to make the contractions. As you can see, the full form of the subject pronoun plus verb BR for plural. Also, we learned the possessive adjectives such as my, your, his, her. In order to show that something belongs to you, let's say my bag, your book, my book. So it's yours, not anybody else. How are you going to say that? My name is Fatima. Can you say that? Can you see? My name. It's my name, not your name. My name. It belongs to me. Is your name Muna? My name is Fatima. Also, in a singular, as you can see, if I'm talking about male, his name is John. His name is George. For ladies, her name is Muna. So for boys, his. For ladies, her name is Sarah. Did you see the difference? How was that? So far, so good? As you can see, my name is Fatima, so it belongs to her, not anyone else. Is your name Muna? If you're talking to someone, his name is John for boys. Her name is Asma for girls. Also, we learned something really important that's called intonation. When you speak, you need to have some intonation that will change the meaning of the entire speech. Imagine if we speak like robots, without feelings, without emotions. Nobody can tell what do we mean, right? And we said for our special friends who speak the special language, the sign language, you can tell the intonation from facial expressions and reading people's lips. You can tell. The rise and fall of the voice in speaking. Excuse me. Did you notice that? Did you pay attention? I just said, excuse me, but I changed my tone of voice. Function of intonation, it shows the attitudes and emotions of the speaker. The difference between statements and questions. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Can you tell? I'm asking a question, it's not a statement. Listen to the intonation. We have a question right here. Did you tell your mom about it? I was just reading that without any intonation, without any emotions. I want you to listen and let me know, is this a rising or falling intonation? Okay? And the second question, what did you think of Mary's story? Listen, pay attention, let's refresh our memory.
To the intonation. Did you tell your mom about it? Did you tell your mom about it? To the intonation. Did you tell your mom about it? Did you tell your mom about it? What did you think of Mary's story? What did you think of Mary's story?
Were you able to listen to the rise tone and falling tone? Usually when you use the rise tone, we're looking for an old information, and falling tone, we're asking and looking for new information. And this happens usually with WH questions. Like what? Also in pronunciation, listen to the intonation, then practice. We have 3 questions right here. What's your name? How are you? How is it going? Let's listen. I want you to pay attention.
Page 5. For pronunciation. Listen to the intonation, then practice. What is your name? How are you? How's it going?
Okay. So how was that?
Page 5. 4. Pronunciation. Listen to the intonation, then practice. What is your name? How are you? How's it going?
Okay. Were you able to listen to the following intonation? I'm looking for new information. As you can tell, what's your name? Probably you're meeting someone for first time, so you have no idea what are their names. You're looking for new information. Same thing with how are you and how is it going. What are the correct responses? So we learned how to greet people, how to introduce ourselves and others, and so on. How about if we are the other person who received the greetings? What are we about to respond back? Look at the first one, good morning. What should you do? What should you say back? If someone is greeting you saying good morning. Good job, good morning back. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. How about goodbye? We have different ways to respond to this way of saying goodbye. Take care or goodbye. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. How was that? Also in the section about you, we ask many questions that will help you to get to introduce yourself and maybe talking to some new friends that you're meeting for first time. Question number 1, how do you spell your first name? Probably you will be needing that question whenever you want to write their name, maybe in your notebook or something like that. How do you spell your last name? And then they will start give you the spelling of their name. What do your friends call you? Asking about the nickname. Do you have a nickname? You can write it down here. Number 4, what's your best friend's name? Asking about your best friend's name. What's your dad's name? Remember, usually when we write names, we start with a capital letter. What's your brother's name? What's your teacher's name? How are you today? This is a nice way to ask someone how they doing. In conversation, we were introduced to a conversation that took place at the airport. Look at the picture. There is a man holding a sign with a name written on it, Rick Morgan. And there is a conversation between Carlos and Rick. It's always a good idea to go back to the conversation and practice this with a partner. It's like role playing. So you could do Carlos, turn, are you Rick Morgan? Remember to use your intonation when you practice conversation. Yes, Carlos replied, hi, I'm Carlos Rodriguez. I'm from your company. Rick said, nice to meet you, Carlos. Carlos, nice to meet you too. Welcome to Spain. Rick, thank you. Carlos, so, is this your first time here? Rick, yes, I'm very excited. Carlos, all our colleagues are at the restaurant and a big meal is ready for you. Rick, great, I'm starving. The food on planes is terrible. In reading, we were learning how to do scanning before you read and looking for certain information. Let's start. Before reading, what do you say when you meet someone for the first time? Listen to the conversation and then practice in pairs. Ali, hi, my name is Ali. What's your name? Ahmed, nice to meet you, Ali. My name is Ahmed. Ali said, are you a new student? Ahmed said, yes, today is my first day here. Welcome to the class, Ahmed. Where are you from? Ahmed said, I'm from Abha. Welcome to Riyadh. Thank you. It's a wonderful place. So, in writing, we in the first unit we learned grammar, writing, reading. In writing, there was some exercise that asks you to match the phrase with the correct response. It's a good idea to go back and refresh your memory. Look at the first one. Where are you from? Where, the question word, and from ask about. Good job. Place. So the answer would be letter E. I'm from Dammam. And so on. It's a good idea to go back and refresh your memory. In writing corner, we learned that sentences begin with a capital letter and end with a period. As you can see, always keep that in mind. So I make something here wrong. Here is Farah as the correct sentence. Also, when we have a question mark at the end of a question, we start with capital letter usually. If it's yes and no question, we start with verb be, like S, ending with question mark. If it's a WH question followed by verb be, and then the thing that I'm asking about, then the question mark. As you can see, for questions with verb be, the subject and the verb change places. As you can see right here. Also in listen and discuss, we learned the days of the week, and we learned how to ask about the day of the week. What day is today? This is unit 2. What day is today? Pages 10 and 11. What's your favorite day of the week? What's your favorite month in the year? We learned the numbers, the ordinal numbers and cardinal numbers, like 1 first. Did you ever win the first place? How was your feeling? Second place, third place. Okay, 1 first, 2 second, 3 third, 4 fourth. It's always a good idea to keep practice, even practice spelling. And listen and discuss. We were listening to a conversation between 2 ladies talking about the age, about the little baby, and we learned how to ask about age. Asking how old is he? He is 6 months old. What's his name? His name is Jamal. What are your names? This is a nice way to ask about people. And then they replied, our names Ali and Adil. How old are you? Again, this is to ask about age. We're 7. In grammar, in unit 2, we learned the possessive adjectives like our, your, and their. For plural, our vacation is in May. Our vacation, it could belongs to, if you're talking about your family, if you're talking with your family, you'll be saying our vacation, right? It's us. We're talking about something that belongs to us. Our vacation. How about the next one, your vacation? You're talking to someone else. It could be one or more than one. Your vacation could be for a group of people or only one person. Their vacation, you're talking about people who are not there. They're third party, so they're not with you in the moment. Question words such as the WH question, what, ask about information. When, asks about time. How old, asks about the age. What day is today? New information. And remember the following intonation. What day is today? It's Sunday. What day? What is the date tomorrow? It's January 20th. How old are you? I'm 15. In grammar, we learned the prepositions and we learned how to use them in a correct context, such as in, on with dates. Use in with months and on with dates and days of the week, such as the final test is in September. September is a name of a month. It's the 9th month in the year. The final test is on September 21st. Can you tell the difference? At the first sentence, I was talking about months only. At the second one, I was talking about specific date, the month followed by number of the day. English classes are on Mondays with days of the week and Wednesdays. Listening, pronunciation, we were able to listen to 3 different conversations looking for specific information such as day and date. And remember, I told you whenever you have listening, it's a good idea to keep a notebook near to you and write the information that you're asked to find, like such as the day and date. Listen to the stress on the words, then practice. May, mom, August, Sunday, September, October. We learned that intonation makes a big difference in our speech. Same thing with stress. It can change the meaning of the entire word, as you can see. Also, some words here like June, dad, April. We learned also in writing how to write the information about yourself. So we learned how to introduce ourselves, how to give information about ourselves such as our name, introduce yourself, your age and everything. Now we learned how to say it out loud and how to write it in information form. Your first name would be your given name, your middle name, last name, age, and things like that. Also in conversation, we listen to different conversation between dad and his son, talking about numbers, months, and you were able to choose your ending. We learned certain expressions such as guess what and you're welcome. In reading, we learned about animals and their lifespans, how old they can live. Also, we learned question words. And in writing corner, it's a good idea to go back and refresh your memory with those information. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this lesson. Until I meet you next class. Bye-bye for now. Take good care.